If you're taking a probiotic right now, I need you to hear this clearly. There's a real chance it's doing absolutely nothing for you. And no, that doesn't mean you did something wrong. The system is built this way. Most probiotic products are engineered to sell well on shelves, not to actually change your gut biology. I'm Dr. Will Ballitz, a board-certified gastroenterologist, New York Times best-selling author, and the founder of 38 Terra. And today I'm going to walk you through the science-backed truth about probiotics that rarely makes it into advertising campaigns. Early in my medical career, I prescribed probiotics exactly the way I was taught. Generic blends, no strain targeting, no attention to dosing or timing, and the honest outcome, most of my patients noticed little to no improvement. That disconnect pushed me to examine the clinical research more deeply. What I found was frustrating. The global probiotic market is valued at roughly $50 billion, yet the vast majority of products are mismatched, wrong strain, wrong dose, wrong condition. This isn't accidental. If products actually solved the problem, you wouldn't need to keep buying them month after month. Once I changed how I used probiotics in practice, everything shifted. Patient outcomes improved, symptoms became measurable, and the results aligned with what the research actually predicts. Over the next several minutes, I'm going to break down what works, what doesn't, and how to avoid wasting your money. I'll explain the 3 biggest mistakes people make, what you can do instead that often costs far less, and if you do choose probiotics, the exact framework that's supported by human clinical data. Stay with me, because this knowledge can save you years of trial and error. Here's the first misconception, the idea that any probiotic is good for gut health. That statement has no scientific meaning. It's like saying any medication is good for the body. Different strains have different functions. Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG has been shown to reduce antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Bifidobacterium infantis has demonstrated benefit for irritable bowel syndrome with constipation. These are not interchangeable. And probiotics aren't even limited to bacteria. Certain beneficial yeasts play critical roles. Saccharomyces boulardii, for example, is one of the most well-studied organisms for acute infectious diarrhea and antibiotic-related diarrhea. Its cousin Saccharomyces cerevisiae does something entirely different. It supports gut barrier integrity, reduces low-grade inflammation, and improves symptoms like bloating and abdominal discomfort. Same family name, very different physiological outcomes. This is the core principle you need to remember. Different organism, different function, different result. If your probiotic label says something vague like digestive support or immune blend and lists 10 random strains, that's marketing language, not clinical medicine. And statistically speaking, it's probably not helping you. Now let's talk dosing, because this is where most products quietly fail. Evidence-based care means using strains that have been tested in humans at the doses shown to work. If a probiotic hasn't been studied in people, there's no reliable reason to expect it to benefit you. When dose data isn't clear, the general research-based guideline is at least 10 billion CFUs per day, because most meaningful trials use ranges between 10 and 100 billion. Walk into a typical drugstore, though, and you'll see products with 1 to 5 billion CFUs. They look impressive on the label, but physiologically, they're underdosed. And here's something most people never consider. CFU counts decline over time. That bottle in your cabinet may have started at 10 billion per capsule, but months later, the actual live count may be far lower. At that point, you're not taking a therapeutic dose. You're taking an expensive placebo. Quick check-in before we go further. If this is already changing how you think about supplements, hit the like button now. It helps this information reach people who genuinely need it, and it tells the algorithm this content has value. Timing and duration matter just as much as strain and dose. Most probiotics survive best when taken on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before a meal. Taking them with food can reduce survival rates significantly. Duration is another major issue. Many studies show benefits emerging after 8 to 12 weeks. Taking a probiotic for 30 days, stopping and concluding it didn't work is often just quitting too early. So when do probiotics actually work? When they're used precisely. Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG and Saccharomyces boulardii together can reduce antibiotic-associated diarrhea by up to 60%. That's not opinion, that's replicated clinical data. Saccharomyces boulardii alone can shorten acute diarrhea by roughly a full day. For IBS with constipation, Bifidobacterium infantis has evidence. For IBS with diarrhea, specific multi-strain formulations like VSL-3 or targeted lactobacillus strains have been studied. Notice the pattern: condition-specific, strain-specific, dose-specific. Here, what the supplement industry rarely emphasizes. For many people, fermented foods should be the starting point. They're dramatically less expensive and biologically powerful. Foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and traditionally fermented pickles contain trillions of live microbes, not billions. They also deliver prebiotic fibers and bioactive compounds that supplements simply don't provide. Even more important, you already host trillions of microbes in your gut. The goal isn't always to add more, it's to nourish the ones you have. Prebiotic fiber from plant foods fuels your existing microbiome. Data from the American Gut Project, which analyzed over 10,000 individuals, showed that the strongest predictor of microbiome diversity wasn't supplements. It was eating at least 30 different plant-based foods per week. Variety mattered more than anything else. Food first, supplements second, and only when they're appropriate. If you're going to use probiotics, here's the framework supported by clinical practice and research. Match the strain to the condition. Verify the dose matches human studies or reaches at least 10 billion CFUs with third-party testing. Take it on an empty stomach. Commit to at least 8 weeks before evaluating results. Then ask the only question that matters: do you feel a measurable difference? After 2 decades in practice, my position is simple. Probiotics are tools, not magic. When used correctly, they can help. When used blindly, they waste money. Start with food, diversity, and fiber. Then, if needed, use targeted supplementation intelligently. If this video helped clarify the science for you, make sure to like it, subscribe for more evidence-based health education, and follow BioOptimize Vision for trusted, research-driven insights into gut and metabolic health. Your health improves when your information does.